Dear students, you are going to learn about the foundations of development, which is included in the paper Developmental Psychology. This is a very interesting topic. You are going to know the reasons behind the color of your skin or the color of your hair, the color of your eyes, or why you are tall or why you are short. What is the real reason uh, behind all this? Now let us look at the slides. Let us find out the two different uh, factors that are responsible for the display of the characteristics of the genes. Now, these two factors are firstly the interaction of the gene with other genes, that is the interaction of the genes of both the parents. Maybe for example, the color of the eyes, the color of the hair, the height, the color of the skin, and so on. And secondly, the interaction of the genotype with the environment. The display of the characteristics of the genes will depend on the environmental factors that has actually helped in the manifestation of the properties or the manifestation of the qualities of the characteristics of the genes. And it follows a dominant recessive pattern. For example, if the father is tall, mother is short, but the child is tall, it means that the parent who is tall has handed down a recessive uh, gene which is shows its characteristics in tallness. Now let us find more about the code. What is this? The human genome means the code for making a human being. And every person has a slightly different code, but it has been found by research that two persons can be similar only up to 99.5%. Two people can never look similar, or they can never uh, they can never inherit the same properties of the parents. Now, what are these genes and chromosomes? The chromosomes is a molecule of DNA, and it contains the instructions to make proteins. We all know that there are 23 pairs of chromosomes in our body, and these genes are bead-like structures that are located in the chromosomes. And there are about 25,000 genes in our body. Now, zygote is the beginning of life. The when the sperm unites with the ovum, then conception or fertilization takes place, and an egg is formed, a fertilized egg, which is called the zygote. And the genotype of the zygote is the genetic information on the 23 chromosome of pairs. And soon after the zygote is formed, life starts, and the display of characteristics will soon take place. Now, what is a gene pair? Gene pair is also called an allele. It's a combination of a pair of genes, one from the mother, one from the father. One is dominant, other is recessive. That is, if the child looks like the father, we will say that it is because of the dominant gene. And if the child looks like the mother, we will say the gene of the mother is dominant. The phenotype is the actual appearance and behavior of a person, what we have inherited. Not only what we have inherited, also in interaction with the environment. and it occurs due to polygenic and gene environmental interaction. These are the two factors for the display of the characteristics of the gene. Now, additive genes combine to make a phenotype. What it means? For example, height. The inherited genes from the mother and the father are added together. However, some additive genes get enhanced by other genes, making their input greater. Now, let us look at the twins and clones. What is the reason behind the characteristics of these two? Now, among twins, we have the zygotic and the monozygotic. Zygotic means the fraternal twins, and it results from two sperms penetrating two ovums. Two different sperms penetrating two different, and they share 50% of the genes of both the parents. Then monozygotic means from one zygote they divide, one zygote divides to form two lives or two identical twins, and a clone originates from a live organism. Important aspect of genes is the chromosomal abnormalities, or we can say the genetic abnormalities. It happens when the zygote form has less than 23 pair or less than 23 pairs of chromosome, and maternal age during delivery, during pregnancy, or during conception was more than the average age. It is usually said if the age is more than 35 years, then there is likelihood of developing chromosomal abnormalities, and they are being aborted if it is found out through my medical test and examination. Then this abnormal chromosomes, or which likely to give birth to a baby with abnormalities, is averted. So another condition of chromosomal abnormality is Down syndrome, which happens when a zygote has three copies of the chromosome 21, and it is characterized by uh, subnormal mental uh, intelligence, mental slowness. They will show, they will be, this kind of child will be a slow learner, and they will age fast, and they will have physical problems with adapting to the outside world, and they can live with lot of social support and a positive attitude by the caregivers as well as by themselves. Again, abnormalities of the 23rd pair. Among about 1 in 500 infants have either one or too few chromosomes on the 23rd pair, and this leads to underdeveloped sexual organs, breast development in boys, and other abnormalities. Now, dominant disorders. Dominant disorders are Huntington's disease, which is a fatal central nervous system disorder, and it is caused by a genetic miscode, and it is inactive until middle adulthood. And another dominant disorder is Tourette syndrome, which is characterized by uncontrollable tics and obscenities. Another condition is Fragile X syndrome. It is caused by a single gene that has 200 repeations of a triplet. It is characterized by cognitive deficits and poor social skills. Cognitive deficits like memorizing, remembering, language, all this will be affected. And males are at a greater risk of developing this syndrome. Now, if we look at the characteristics of the genes, our genes influence our environment, and our environment in turn influences the expression of our genes. It is all often influenced by environmental context, and there is a lot of variability differences in how gene expression can unfold over the course of one's life. For example, twins raised in two different cultures. There are many stories, there are many evidences which has been depicted in the research studies. Twins, they raised in different environments. Though they have some uh, dominant characteristics, but still uh, they also grow up with different behavioral characteristics because they are raised in two different environments. So these are some of the references for your self study, and to learn more about this topic, you please go through these references. Thank you.